This is how some individuals transform their modest beginnings into multi-billion-dollar and trillion-dollars worth enterprises that will leave you astonished. We're delving into zero-to-hero journeys, featuring a beauty industry trailblazer who rose to become America's inaugural female self-made millionaire, and a tech visionary who evolved a simple startup into an international juggernaut. And that's merely scratching the surface. Brace yourself to witness how these 10 extraordinary figures turned adversity into astonishing triumph. Buckle up, what follows is truly phenomenal. 1. Madam C.J. Walker. Madam C.J. Walker, originally named Sarah Breedlove, born in 1867, carved out one of the most iconic ascent stories in the nation's annals. She wasn't merely wealthy, she was the first woman in America to independently amass a fortune, a feat made even more awe-inspiring given the severe limitations facing both women and African Americans of her era. Her early existence was defined by loss and relentless difficulty. The daughter of once enslaved individuals in Louisiana, she became an orphan at just 7. From then on, she toiled in domestic labor, seemingly destined for a life of scarcity and toil like many in her shoes. But Sarah wasn't one to resign to fate. Her turning point arrived in her late 30s when she began suffering from hair loss, likely due to strenuous labor and poor nutrition. Instead of despairing, she spotted an entrepreneurial opening. After testing a variety of solutions, she launched a unique line of hair products designed specifically for Black women. Her brand began to gain momentum. Yet, Walker's mission extended beyond profit. She was devoted to uplifting others. She toured the nation, enlisting and instructing thousands of women to distribute her merchandise, fostering financial independence among them. She even inaugurated a manufacturing facility and grooming institute to support her agents, cementing the foundation of the Black haircare business. More than a businesswoman, Walker was also a generous donor and social justice advocate. She contributed substantially to causes aiding the Black community, offering grants, sponsoring education, and backing civil rights groups like the NAACP. Her grand estate in Irvington, New York, Villa Luero, emerged as a vibrant gathering place for Black thinkers and creatives. Her life story illustrates how grit, imagination, and strategic insight can transform overwhelming obstacles into a platform for historic success. 2. Andrew Carnegie. When discussing titans of industry, Andrew Carnegie's name inevitably surfaces. Although he concluded life as one of the wealthiest men of his time, his roots were modest. Born in 1835 in a tiny Scottish town, Carnegie's family suffered immense deprivation. His father's weaving trade was ruined by mechanization, prompting their migration to America in search of stability. Life in the U.S. didn't offer immediate relief. At 13, Carnegie began working in a textile mill to assist his household, earning just $1.20 per week under dangerous conditions. Yet, he remained determined, believing education and self-growth were gateways to a better existence. He studied independently, reading from books lent by a charitable neighbor. His relentless curiosity and ambition soon earned him a role as a telegraph clerk, one that would pivot the course of his future. His real opportunity came when the Pennsylvania Railroad hired him. A manager, Thomas A. Scott, noticed Carnegie's aptitude and became his mentor, imparting lessons in finance and leadership. This tutelage laid the groundwork for Carnegie's later steel empire. By the 1860s, he had moved from railroads to savvy investments in steel, an industry that would crown him as one of America's dominant magnates. He founded Carnegie Steel, and by the century's close, his operation was outproducing the entire British steel market. In 1901, he sold it to J.P. Morgan for $480 million, worth many billions today, making him the era's richest individual. Yet Carnegie's legacy wasn't solely his riches, it was his philanthropy. A firm believer in the creed, "The man who dies rich dies disgraced," he dedicated his twilight years to charitable work. He established over 2,500 public libraries, funded colleges, and supported scientific endeavors. His lasting impact is seen in institutions like Carnegie Hall and Carnegie Mellon University. Carnegie's climb from destitution to tycoon reminds us that true success lies in how much you uplift others along the way. 3. Jan Koum. In the realm of technology, few narratives are as compelling as Jan Koum's. Born in Ukraine, Coombe and his mother fled to the United States when he was just 16. They arrived nearly penniless, relying on government aid for food, while his mother worked as a nanny. They lived in a modest public housing unit. Against all odds, Coombe's journey demonstrates how drive and ability can turn bleak circumstances into opportunity. Coombe developed a passion for computers during his teens, mastering programming through manuals and source code. With no funds for formal schooling, he self-educated. His autodidactic skills eventually earned him a role at Yahoo, where he worked as a systems engineer for nearly 10 years. Still, Coombe dreamed bigger. In 2009, he co-founded WhatsApp with Brian Acton. Their vision was straightforward: design a communication platform that emphasized privacy and ease of use. At a time when messaging apps were bloated with ads and unnecessary functions, WhatsApp's clean, minimalist interface stood out. Its encryption-focused framework made it a favorite among privacy-minded users. The breakthrough came in 2014 when Facebook acquired WhatsApp for a staggering $19 billion, then the largest purchase in Facebook's history. Overnight, Coombe went from food stamps to a billionaire, with a fortune exceeding $10 billion. What makes his tale remarkable is his unwavering adherence to principles. Even after the acquisition, he championed digital privacy and user rights. Coombe's rise is proof that with the right vision and relentless pursuit, you can revolutionize the world, no matter your origins. 4. Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey is widely known as the reigning figure of the media landscape, but her ascent to global influence was far from effortless. Born into extreme poverty in rural Mississippi in 1954, her early life was plagued by hardship and emotional trauma. Raised by a teenage single mother, she endured destitution and abuse, sometimes wearing dresses fashioned from potato sacks because her family couldn't afford proper clothing. In spite of these trials, Oprah's innate gift for communication and her voracious love of books helped her stand out from a young age. She excelled academically and earned a full scholarship to Tennessee State University, where she majored in communications. Her breakthrough arrived when she became Nashville's first black female news anchor at just 19. However, it was her relocation to Chicago that marked the turning point in her career. In 1984, she was brought on to host a struggling morning program. Within months, Oprah's warmth, sincerity, and powerful presence transformed the show into a ratings juggernaut. That program evolved into The Oprah Winfrey Show, which aired for 25 years and solidified her as a cultural force. Over time, Oprah expanded her influence far beyond daytime TV, founding a magazine, a radio station, and even her own cable network, the Oprah Winfrey Network OWN. Today, her fortune is valued at more than $2.5 billion, and she is recognized as one of the most powerful women on the planet. Yet, Oprah's legacy is rooted not just in success, but in impact. Through the Oprah Winfrey Foundation, she has contributed millions toward education, healthcare, and disaster aid. She's also a tireless champion for gender equity, racial justice, and emotional well-being. Oprah's path is a shining example that with persistence, learning, and the courage to embrace your true self, you can rise above any obstacle and achieve extraordinary things. 5. Jeff Bezos. Today, Jeff Bezos is celebrated as the mastermind behind Amazon, the planet's largest online marketplace, and one of the richest individuals alive. But his origins were far from glamorous. Born in 1964 to teenage parents, Bezos faced numerous early life hurdles. His mother balanced parenting while finishing school, and the family at times relied on public assistance to get by. As a child, Bezos spent summers helping out on his grandparents' ranch, where he cultivated a strong work ethic. In high school, he worked the breakfast shift at McDonald's, flipping burgers and mopping floors. But even then, Bezos was driven by a larger vision. He graduated as class valedictorian and enrolled at Princeton University, where he majored in computer science and electrical engineering. After college, Bezos landed a high-paying job on Wall Street, but corporate life failed to satisfy his ambitions. In 1994, spotting the untapped potential of the internet, he left his job and launched an online bookstore from his garage. That humble beginning was the birth of Amazon.com, which initially sold only books before branching into virtually every market imaginable. Today, Amazon is a global behemoth offering everything from everyday goods to cloud computing services. Bezos' relentless focus on innovation, speed, and customer experience helped transform it into one of the most influential companies in history. His personal fortune has skyrocketed to more than $130 billion, making him the wealthiest man in the world for multiple consecutive years. But Bezos isn't limiting his dreams to Earth. He founded Blue Origin, a private aerospace company with a mission to make space travel attainable for all. In 2021, he achieved a childhood goal by traveling to space aboard one of his own rockets. His evolution, from a fast food worker to the richest man alive, embodies the strength of ambition, vision, and unyielding determination. 6. Steve Jobs. Few individuals have left as deep a mark on modern innovation as Steve Jobs, the iconic co-founder of Apple. Contrary to popular belief, Jobs wasn't born into luxury or high status. In truth, he was put up for adoption shortly after birth and raised by a modest, middle-income household. His adoptive parents, Paul and Clara Jobs, nurtured his fascination with gadgets and machines, although they couldn't afford premium tools or resources. His early years were filled with highs and lows. He enrolled in Reed College but left after one semester. Still, instead of heading home, Jobs stayed on campus, auditing courses that sparked his interest. That rebellious approach to education would go on to shape his career. In 1976, Jobs teamed up with his friend Steve Wozniak to launch Apple in his parents' garage. Their mission was simple: make computers user-friendly and accessible to everyone. Their first invention, the Apple I, gained moderate success. But the real shift came in 1984 with the debut of the Macintosh, an innovative machine with a visual interface and a mouse, which set a new industry standard. Jobs' journey was anything but smooth. In 1985, following internal disputes, he was pushed out of Apple, the very company he helped create. But rather than retreat, he launched Next, a firm focused on elite computers. Simultaneously, he acquired a small animation studio called Pixar, which soon disrupted the movie world with hits like Toy Story. In 1997, Apple acquired Next, paving the way for Jobs' dramatic return. Under his leadership, Apple released groundbreaking products like the iMac, iPod, iPhone, and iPad, tools that didn't just revive Apple but redefined the tech world. By the time of his passing in 2011, Jobs had turned Apple into one of the most valuable corporations on the planet. His story stands as a powerful symbol of vision, persistence, and the courage to think differently. 7. Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban is now a staple of the business world, but his beginnings were anything but glamorous. Raised in a blue-collar household in Pittsburgh, Cuban displayed business instincts early on. At 12, he was selling trash bags door to door. Later, he dabbled in trading baseball cards, rare coins, and collectibles, whatever could earn a buck. To stay afloat during college, Cuban juggled a variety of gigs, from bartending to giving dance lessons. But his pivotal moment came in 1995, when he co-founded Broadcast.com, among the first platforms to stream audio and video over the internet. The venture proved massively profitable. In 1999, Yahoo acquired it for a staggering $5.7 billion in stock. With that windfall, Cuban didn't slow down. He reinvested in various companies, most notably buying the NBA's Dallas Mavericks in 2000 for $285 million. Under his ownership, the team transformed from a laughingstock into champions, claiming the NBA title in 2011. Today, Cuban's net worth exceeds $4 billion. He's also a familiar face on Shark Tank, where he backs aspiring entrepreneurs. From peddling garbage bags to becoming a venture tycoon, Cuban's tale proves that no dream is too far-fetched. 8. Ralph Lauren. The legendary American designer Ralph Lauren didn't grow up amid the glamour he would one day create. Born to immigrant parents in the Bronx, he was raised in a working-class environment. His father painted houses for a living, and the family often struggled to make ends meet. From an early age, Lauren showed a sharp eye for style, but with limited funds, he had to use ingenuity. After a stint in the military, he found work peddling neckties. However, he wasn't content selling others' designs, he had bold visions of his own. In 1967, Lauren introduced his own line of ties under the Polo label, and it quickly gained traction with upscale retailers. His major break came when prestigious stores like Bloomingdale's began showcasing his designs. From there, Lauren rapidly expanded into menswear, then women's fashion, fragrances, and eventually home decor. The now iconic polo shirt, launched in 1972, became a symbol of preppy elegance and remains a wardrobe staple to this day. But Lauren didn't stop at clothing. He built an entire lifestyle brand, branching into bedding, tableware, and furniture. What began as a simple necktie concept evolved into a multi-billion-dollar luxury empire, proving that even a modest beginning can lead to global influence. 9. Roman Abramovich. Roman Abramovich's climb from orphan child to billionaire mogul is one of the most compelling rags to riches sagas of our time. Born in Saratov, Russia, he lost both parents by the age of 4. Raised by relatives in a shared apartment complex, his childhood was anything but easy. His rise started in the 1990s, during the chaotic privatization of Russia's state-owned enterprises. Abramovich seized the moment, investing in oil firms just as the country's economy was transforming. His bold moves paid off, and he soon established himself as a heavyweight in the energy sector, founding the company Sibneft. But Abramovich's fame isn't confined to the business world. He purchased Chelsea Football Club, transforming it into a global soccer powerhouse. Under his ownership, Chelsea claimed numerous Premier League titles and a coveted UEFA Champions League trophy. Now worth over $14 billion, Abramovich is one of Russia's wealthiest figures. He's also known for his philanthropy, contributing vast sums to causes involving education, healthcare, and the arts. His story underscores that even the harshest start in life can lead to incredible prosperity. 10. Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry's success story is a testament to grit, passion, and resilience. Born into poverty in New Orleans, Perry's early life was marked by abuse and hardship. As a young adult, he struggled to find stable footing. At one point, he was living in his car while chasing his dream of working in entertainment. His turning point came in 1992 with the production of his debut play, I Know I've Been Changed, which he wrote, directed, and starred in. Though it initially flopped, Perry didn't back down. He continued creating stage plays, eventually introducing Medea, a tough, no-nonsense grandmother who won over audiences nationwide. Medea's popularity launched a film franchise that Perry controlled entirely, writing, producing, directing, and often starring in the movies himself. Over time, he built his own studio and production company, ensuring full creative freedom. Today, Tyler Perry Studios stands among the world's biggest movie production facilities, and Perry himself is a billionaire. But Perry's impact extends beyond wealth. He's a trailblazer for Black creatives in Hollywood, creating opportunities and championing stories that reflect underrepresented communities. His journey shows that no matter where you start, belief and perseverance can get you to the top. And that wraps up the incredible rags to riches stories of these amazing individuals. If you enjoy stories like these, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And make sure to tap on the notification bell so you're first in line for new videos. Until next time, see you soon.